In January, I announced that the Department of Education would be working with Geoffrey Canada and the Harlem Children's Zone to put in place a pilot program in Paterson that would aim to do one thing: deliver positive results for Paterson's children by emulating this incredibly successful model. We're going to be able to realize this goal because of the community leadership of NJCDC and their passion for the children of this community. With their own resources, they move forward to receive Harlem Children's Zone training to help in the planning process to create the same program that the Harlem Children's Zone has successfully executed in New York and around America. Today, NJCDC continues to work with Mr. Canada and Harlem Children's Zone in order to be ready to move forward with this model by this fall. NJCDC has a record of seizing on these kind of innovative partnerships, and they've been successful in bringing together seemingly disparate public and private organizations, make sure that the children are best served. That's their primary goal. They underscore the importance of making college access and college graduation a driving outcome that naturally leads to other positive things in young people's lives. I truly believe this is the model for the way forward. Communities that are engaged and passionate and part of the solution, both government and non-governmental organizations. The approach is comprehensive. It pulls together people inside and outside of government and better aligns the delivery of services across programs so that folks actually work together rather than overlap or ignore each other. Promise communities are designed to significantly improve the educational and developmental outcomes of children at every point in their lives where they can be reached. So for us, that means taking a whole variety of programs that are already working in a community, often in disjointed and overlapping ways, no matter how well-intentioned, and making them work together at every stage of a child's life so that not only do they graduate, but they graduate with the skills they need to go on to college or to work effectively in the private sector. So working with Bob, the Paterson community, Rochelle Hendricks, and Geoffrey Canada, we're moving forward in executing on that goal here in Paterson and looking to expand that vision to other New Jersey cities in order to put children at the core of what government and the private sector are doing together. Promise Communities is the administration's partnership initiative. Working with the Harlem Children's Zone, we will use existing resources to seek out community partnerships like we see here today in Paterson, to build on those core principles of breaking down the silos in government to better coordinate and organize programs around the goal of providing services and support to children from the moment they're born until they graduate college. We'll partner with nonprofits, just like we are here today in Paterson, to start moving towards implementing this type of program in this community. The Department of Education is actively working with Harlem Children's Zone to identify other places where these opportunities exist. I want to thank Jeff and the Harlem Children's Zone leadership. They're going to convene an advisory group led by Acting Secretary of Higher Education, Rochelle Hendricks, to interface directly with the administration and key departments such as the Department of Education, the Department of Children and Families, the Department of Labor and Workforce Development, the Department of Community Affairs, so that we don't fall into the same trap of having overlapping programs that are ignoring and not talking to each other. And they're going to provide analysis, guidance, recommendations to further the goals of improving this kind of coordination, breaking down the silos at the state level, and increasing the efficiency and accountability in the policies and programs benefiting children who need this help. The whole point is to take the existing resources we have, the programs, the services, and to reorganize them to have them work more efficiently towards a common goal. Positive outcomes for the children of this city and a transformed community. The two go together. They have to. And we've seen what those results can look like at the local level. We hope to be able to duplicate those efforts here and make the way we serve children and their families in our state more effective, more efficient, and more results-driven, not only at the local level, but across state government as well. I want to thank my old friend Vaughn McCoy for his leadership. He is a son of Paterson and someone who, given his great success in both the public and private sector, comes back to Paterson to serve as a working example for what the children of this community can achieve. I got to work with Vaughn not only in the job I have now, but in the last job I had when we were both in law enforcement. And the one motivating force for Vaughn all along has been to try to make sure that there is an atmosphere for children in this city and other cities across New Jersey where they can have the opportunity to achieve their highest potential. We're still hoping for Vaughn to achieve his highest potential. We're hopeful. But he's done okay already. And through his work with NJCDC and all of the other volunteer work that he does in addition to an extraordinary professional career, he is providing an example to children all across Paterson and other parts of New Jersey about what's possible for a life well lived and motivated and driven for success. He's done that, and I congratulate him for coming back to his community and making sure that they see all that's possible by watching what he's achieved. That's part of what Jeff Canada is all about as well. I was talking to some of the folks we were talking to earlier and relating the story about how when he was their age, sitting there and not knowing exactly what he wanted to do, but knowing that he wanted to make a difference, and knowing he wanted to go to college and get a great education, but not knowing how he was going to get there, how he was going to pay for it, but inside he had a fire inside of him to achieve it. I said to the young folks this morning that the most powerful thing in the world is a good idea. The Harlem Children's Zone is a great idea. And so good ideas are rare, great ideas are a miracle. And what Jeff Canada is doing every day for the children of his community represents a miracle that we'd like to replicate here in New Jersey for the children of Paterson. And once we show we have success here in Paterson, to extend it to other communities across New Jersey where the same type of miracle from great ideas can change lives. And so every time I get the chance to lure him over here to New Jersey, I do, because he's not only inspiring to me, I think he's inspiring to the people of our state who are trying to do something better for the children whose future we care so deeply about. This is one where which has started, and we're going to try to use it as a model. And we've selected Paterson because we think that all the elements that you need for success are already here in Paterson. You have a local government who gets this and is caring and concerning. You have a superintendent who understands why this is such an important concept. You have a nonprofit organization here that has shown to be successful and is part of the team in that regard. And now you have an administration in Trenton who wants to make those type of investments in urban education, and not just throwing money at it, but making it better, in addition to the resources that we give to it. So we're going to use this as a model, and then we're going to learn from whatever mistakes we make here, and hopefully from the successes we have here to expand it across the state. So I don't have any plans now to say today we're going to launch this in 2 months in someplace else and 6 months someplace else. Let's get this right and get it going, and then use it as a model to launch off to other places.